Hello and welcome to Moscato and Tea. This is the show for all things beauty, business, and community with your host Inez and Chiquita. Keeping it raw, real, and unfiltered.
Hey. What's happening?
What's happening, girl?
We're back for our second episode. I'm very excited. We're slowly learning, getting there, chopping it up.
So bear with us.
Yes. Big time, because we are drinking a little. I have to limit Inez because she's on her second round of Moscato, her drinking. It is my birthday, so we're kind of celebrating. She also brought me a little cupcake, so I truly appreciate that. Chocolate cupcake, which I love. It's my favorite flavor. Yes, we love
I like
our
a lot of things chocolate.
I wonder. Okay, you know what? Now that she brought that up, I had this whole plan of what I wanted to actually talk about today, and we're going to get to that. But I do want to go into this little situation that we said we were going to actually talk about. Do we want to go into this insecure
situation?
Yes.
Sure, we could totally go into it.
We're going off tangent, sorry, but that's how we do. That's what we do when we're in the waxing office.
Basically,
and stuff like
go through 20 million different things.
Yes.
So we were just talking about dating, right? So I know someone who was telling me a story about a situation she was in with a guy. So I, of course, was just trying to ask my fellow single ladies, what is their scenario? So she was messing around with this guy, seeing this guy for a bit or whatever, and she was telling me that it seemed like it always seemed like she felt or he felt that they were in an episode of Insecure.
I love it.
And it kind of threw her back a little bit. And I was like, girl, bye. Why would he, you know? And it's basically when we're talking about that, like an episode, which shout out to Issa Rae, because, girl, you changed the game.
Yes.
Changed the game on that.
My mentor.
Where you even have guys talking about your TV show. I think it was more of the sense of not dealing with situations. It's not wanting to confront issues or talk about things. It's just more of a way to kind of, fiction and reality are two different things. And I think a lot of times the way things are and the way things kind of happen, it just kind of, it changes the game. Yeah. So that being said, it was hilarious to me. I thought it was the funniest thing I've ever heard.
It was.
And talking about it with, girls, and I'm keeping her identity, private because, at the end of the day, I asked permission to be able to talk about it. And she said it was fine as long as, I didn't bring up any names, which I told her I wouldn't. But, being as an esthetician, being in a room, you get a lot of these things where women are constantly asking you and talking to you about their situation with men and so forth. So I just think that it's kind of funny that now men are quoting, instead of quoting, now men are using and quoting a woman as, Issa Rae, who is super powerful in a way to kind of combat and kind of not deal with situations.
Exactly.
Which to me, I was
just like a man.
Instead of how about this? They're not even using Steve Harvey anymore. Now they're using
exactly.
Now they're using Issa Rae. I'm like, well, Steve, I guess your books are on the sidelines.
Exactly.
And Issa with you and your
trying
TV.
something new. It's okay.
That's all right. I just it's just funny dating in LA itself and just dating in general.
All these different apps, and I can admit I was on Bumble and Tinder.
Oh, see, you be doing those apps. I can't do that.
It's because Tiffany made me. And if you don't know, Tiffany's my best friend, and she'll probably kill me for throwing her name out there, but I don't care. All these different apps she made me get on, and it's like it just takes up too much time. I don't understand it.
I just
it's too
think
much.
it's too
much work.
I understand we're in a point.
What happened to just going to church? Well, I don't go to church anymore. But when I did, it's been a couple years. Going to church.
Exactly. I was going to say the church thing don't work no more.
Yeah.
The grocery store, you could probably maybe. They were saying you have. But, nowadays, I think you have to dress like you're going to the club to go to the grocery store.
That's crazy. I ain't got time.
I understand we're in a age of technology and that, it's very easy to swipe left, swipe right, see if you're communicating because people are busy. But at the end of the day, I think it takes out the personal contact with meeting someone. The whole point you would go out is to meet somebody and see if you even clicked or vibe.
Yeah.
You're
I'm not a club person, though.
Huh?
I'm not a club type person, so going to clubs
okay. All right. I get it. I don't even go to clubs anymore. Like, I'm too grown to be going to the club. But, I will go to a lounge. Okay. I will go out to a social gathering.
Yeah. Okay.
Now they have these meetups, like where you actually interact with people, which, you might think you might want to start doing.
Don't do me. Don't do me.
You might want to start doing the meetups. But, you actually can interact with somebody and kind of get a vibe for somebody. Because at the end of the day, even with an app, it doesn't guarantee anything.
Yeah,
what happened to the time where you would meet a friend and be like, ooh, girl, I got a friend for you, or I know somebody for you. That just doesn't exist.
It does not.
And it's so funny because as women, we complain about certain things, but then we put up with a bunch of certain things. I can't even be mad at all the men because we allow a lot of things to go on as well. It's I think it's a 50-50 situation.
Oh, yeah. You're right. It is a 50-50 because some women, they do too much too. So,
way too much. I'm like, and the expectations, the expectations nowadays, and the beauty expectations, and what are we supposed to look like? What are we supposed to be?
I'm not a size 2. I can promise you,
girl. Don't me either. I do like me some food and some drink, but
listen,
however it may be. But I think it's just the expectations and what the reality is. And I think I'm from the Bay. Yay! Shout out to the Bay Area.
Keeping it raw, real, and filtered.
It's a different vibe. It's a different deal. I had told you before, when I lived in the Bay, it was never an issue to go out or date or do anything. I always did. That was never a girl. I had a Rolodex. I could keep it going. I came out to LA and that was a whole different situation. I had to look at my, I'd be like, wait, am I not cute no more? What happened?
What's going on?
And it's not even that. It's just a whole different mindset. And it's a whole different environment.
Yes.
And so it makes it really hard to, kind of date and find that the realism and so forth that goes on. But, I'm going to cheer you on, girl, with those apps.
Listen, I deleted them. I couldn't do it anymore. It was just, I got too much going on and I didn't have time. And it was just it was too much work.
Well, I mean, I've had quite a few success stories. Yeah. I've had some clients that have, some of them I've met through online and they've gotten married and so forth. And then I've had others that I've met through work or through mutual friends. And just, I think the big key is when you're not looking is when you find.
I've heard that before.
A lot of these, kind of people, not even kind of people, but all the women that I know that have been like that have just kind of given up and quit looking. And then all of a sudden it just kind of falls into their lap.
No, big time.
But so shout out to Issa.
Yes.
An insecure girl. You got these men running.
It's everywhere. Literally everywhere. It's too much. But, just getting back onto subject, we wanted to kind of talk about today basically starting a business, especially as women. We want to have our own. We don't want to have to wait for anybody to give us anything. We want to go out there and work for ourselves and get our own, what is it? What do they say? Secure the bag. Okay.
Right. So, secure your own bag.
Get our own bag, And so I know for myself, I have a couple businesses actually.
The jack of all trades.
Yeah, I'm trying to do it all, But I have my own production company. I have my own publishing company. And now, I'm co-owner of a podcast. So, I'm trying to do any and everything. But basically, I think the first thing that you have to do is plan it out. Write it down. Know exactly what you want. And don't go into this thinking you're going to be a millionaire or make all this type of money and be famous.
No.
It's not.
I don't think it doesn't really work that way.
Yeah, no.
I got it. I became a business owner and, you have to be able to go with the ups and the downs. Worked for other people for many years, decided to go on my own. Got in with some put it this way, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on some things, but ended up having to, got with some business partners, ended up having to go on my own anyways.
I think,
you can relate.
Yes.
So we've already discussed, and we already know that situation. No, we're not going to go into details, but at the end of the day, if you have the passion and the love for whatever it is that you're doing, you're going to hit some major bumps, and you're going to have some really good highs, and you're going to have some really low lows.
Yes.
That's the thing about being
Hard
a business.
work.
Yeah, a business owner. It doesn't, as much as people want to make it look like it's easy, it's not.
No.
You know, it takes at least 5 years plus to even start seeing anything or doing anything. Social media has definitely changed the game in making it seem like it's super, super easy.
Yeah,
it's not at all.
It's so not.
At all. You know, you got sleepless nights, you're waking, you're working hard, you're hustling. All day long. But the main thing is have your vision. Like, have your vision of what it is that you want and want to do. Then you really, I can't stress enough a business plan. They had told me a business plan. I was like, yeah, whatever. No, really. Like,
you have to have it.
A business plan is really, really important due to the fact that it's like, it's your book. It's like your lecture, your book, your Bible.
Yes.
It keeps you in the direction that you want to go.
Exactly.
And have realistic expectations. Have your 3-year plan, have your 5-year plan, have your 10-year plan, and then, also plan for, the bad days.
Exactly.
Have, like for things like times where you're like, how am I going to pay the rent? Or like, how's that going to happen? Making sure also number one is paying yourself first.
Big time.
A lot of business owners, I'm saying I'm one, I've learned better, but I'm one that everything else came first before myself. Well, without you and you paying yourself, there's no way there's any other business. So at the end of the day, you always have to take care of yourself and pay yourself first and do those kinds of things. Yes. I mean, this is a learning process. I mean,
you're going to make mistakes.
And every day I'm learning something new.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just for myself, just knowing, I have to stay on top of certain things and, doing the social media, and filing paperwork, it's very, very important. Make sure you file your paperwork for your ownership, for your name, copyright. That's the biggest thing. You need to make sure you own that name.
Girl, copyright, you just got me on that one. I'm like, that's the next step.
Yes, I did the copyright. My next goal is going to get trademark.
Yeah.
But also, if you can afford it, get a lawyer. I have a lawyer, which I'm very grateful for.
Yes, get a lawyer.
Please get a lawyer.
Definitely.
Make sure.
Jessica Ullman. Yes. You're the shit out there, girl. Shout out to my lawyer.
Yeah, my lawyer over at Ignite Law Firm. Yes, he's the best, Eric. Truly, truly appreciate him, Eric Hartman. I think that's the biggest thing before you do anything. Also,
and a really good accountant.
Yes, accountant. And I also have a financial advisor as well.
Yeah, you know what, girl? I'm just starting getting into that.
Yes.
That's a really good.
Oh, yeah. Invest, people. Let me tell you, invest. Cover yourselves. Make sure. It's the huge deal.
I think, yeah. I mean, you're still, I mean, you just like when you decided to do your book, which, by the way, you got me inspired to, do my book.
Yes, and you're going to put it under my publishing company.
Yeah, we already decided. You get the book. Yes, we already decided.
Yes.
But like the whole thing when you decided to do all of that and take a leap of faith.
It was.
Really, let's talk about that because we were, I've been doing my thing now for almost 2 years. You went through your situation and, you took a leap of faith. So what made you we had talked about this. They don't know we talked about it, but what was it that was the changing point, meaning you take that leap of faith and believing in yourself? Because at the end of the day, if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will.
No, big time. I think for me personally, I just felt that I knew I had something. Right. I knew I had goals and dreams and I wanted to pursue something. I knew I've always been a writer.
Taking a sip of Moscato.
Get that Moscato. I've always wanted to write. I didn't know what I wanted to write, but I always wanted to write. And, I started out just doing film and TV and writing different projects. And then one of my scripts actually is the basis for my first book. And it's called Antonio and Sabrina, Struck in Love. Go get it.
Hey.
On Amazon. And I just.
Shout out to Amazon.
I just decided one day, looking over everything and just deciding I wanted to do something different. I wanted to be able to say to myself 20 years down the road, I did that. Right. And no matter if I sell 1 million copies or not, even if I sell 1 copy, I can say I wrote a book, and so I just took the time. I planned it out. I wrote everything down and I made some mistakes, let me tell you. But I think the biggest thing is just planning it out and going through the different avenues and knowing, what to look for and what to do. And Amazon was one of the places I went to with setting up, and they kind of help you set up everything for your book. But also, you got to know that you got to spend a little money too, as well. It's all about having a great editor, getting a great book cover person and designer and stuff like that.
So regardless, it's, you know, as much as it is, you do need to have some money.
You got to have a little bit of money,
right? To you know,
certain things you got to pay for. You know,
you have a second job.
Yeah, I do.
I do, right?
Yes.
We both.
Oh, yeah, we have
both,
regular jobs on top of this and trying to, you know, promote our business. Oh, yeah, you got to have that little extra income.
You got to have that extra just in case.
Yeah,
and,
big time.
You know, paying extra bills and doing whatever else. I mean, it doesn't take away, girl, trust me. And, you know, it doesn't take away from the fact. But, you know, with you doing all of this, how do you feel now knowing that?
I feel like I've accomplished something. I feel very like